Hi, it's Elder. Welcome to the new video tutorial on how to create the pop-up window using the model bric in Blocs 3.2. So I have created the simple project here, and before adding any pop-up windows, we need to add the trigger. And trigger can be four things. It can be the button, it can be icon, it can be image or link. And basically any element which supports the interactions option here in the sidebar can be a trigger for the pop-up form. So let's add the button here, and let's say that it is the button for the booking form. So we will name this book now and maybe give it some color. If we go to preview, at the moment it doesn't do anything. So let's go and let's add the pop-up window. And to do that, we need to add the model bric, the new bric we have in 3.2 version of Blocs. So we can add the model bric anywhere on the screen as long as this button is not inside this model. So let's search for model bric and add it just under the button. So just make sure that the button, the trigger, is not inside the model bric like this. I'll drag it out once again. Okay, so now we have the trigger and we have the model. And you can see that right now I am trying to select the model, and instead I'm selecting the parts of this model. And it is important that you select the model before setting any of the settings. You can do that by selecting the model like that, and as you can see, it is quite difficult. You can see I spent 10 seconds trying to select it. So what I recommend to do is just utilize the layer navigator, which is cool feature we have in Blocs 3. And here you can just select this model. And right in the sidebar, you can see that right now we have the model header, model body, and model footer. If we select the parent model like that, you can see in the sidebar we get this appearance panel, and it has a few options. For example, we can enable or disable the footer and header like that. So header and footer. And we also have the option to add the close button like that. And I'm not going to use that, but if you want to change the color, for example, you can select the button. You can see that by default it has the close custom class edit, so you can open it and go to typography settings and change the color to anything you want. For example, red, like purple, or like blue. And now let's go back to preview and actually see how our model works, but it will not work for now because we did not link it to our trigger. So what we need to do is to select our button and in interactions, select the type to the toggle model. And if we don't have any models on our website, we will just have no selection like this. But because we already have one, you can see that it has the model with some random number. So what I recommend to do is to give the ID to each of the models you create. So let's select our model and give it an ID. Let's say it is the booking form. And now when we go back to our button and select the model, now we have the recognizable booking form model here. So always give the IDs to your model so you know which one to select when you work these buttons and all of the links. So I will select the booking form like that. And now if we go back to the preview mode and click on this button, you can see we have this blue close icon. We have the header, footer, and the body. So I don't like most of these elements. So what I'm going to do is select the model, and I will disable the header, I will disable the footer, and actually the button, because I just want to close the model when I click anywhere on the screen. And the only option I will leave is this fade in effect. And if I disable it, it will be instant. So if I click on this button, it will instantly show this model, which is nice and sometimes can be useful, but I think that the fade-in animation looks better for this type of pop-up window, so I will leave it enabled. And next thing we have is the alignment. So by default it is aligned to the center, but we can also show the model on top of the screen. So let's go back here and see how it looks on top of the screen. And on the bottom, of course. So let's go back and see how it looks on the bottom. And by the way, you can see it creates this overlay fade-in effect, which is quite nice and makes it easier to focus on the model we have here. So next thing we have here is the width, and by default it's set to medium, but we can change it to small. And we have the medium, large, and fill screen. So let's check the large out, and by the way, I will change the alignment back to the middle because I think it looks the best. So right now we have it in the middle, and we have the fill screen, which is edge to edge, so it will fill the whole screen of your browser, and I don't think it's good for this type of model. I will make sure that it is large because I think I like the large the most. And the last thing here, we can change the color for this model. So for example, we can make it black or something else. So I will just use it as it is for now, and I will add the form. So I'm not going to style it, but we can just select this text inside, use Command Delete to get rid of this text, and we can add the form inside like that. By the way, you can see that right now in edit mode, this is huge. It's like edge to edge, but it's not important here because it will not be visible in preview mode or on your website. It is only visible in Blocs. But when we actually preview our website, you can see that the size of this element is dictated by the size of the model we set. So right now it is large. I'm not going to customize this form, but instead I'm going to show you some other very popular use for this type of window, and it is the video lightbox. So I will select the model body and use Command Delete to get rid of that. And I will add the video bric inside like that, and we will use the default video just for this example. And if we go back to the preview mode now and click on this button, as you can see, we have this beautiful edgeless video. So models are quite new bric for Blocs, and I hope that in the future versions of Blocs we will get more options for adjusting the style and functionality of this bric, which is quite nice already, but it still can be improved in many ways. So this is it for this video, and if you have any questions about models or Blocs in general, please let me know and I will do my best to help you. So thank you for watching and have a nice day.